Invite up our guest speaker, David George Brooke, otherwise known as Brooker, the Gratitude Guy. David is the author of the Brooker's Daily Gratitude Journal and 3 other books on gratitude. David specializes in coaching people to overcome any obstacle through the power of gratitude, and specifically the use of a daily gratitude journal. His enthusiastic energy and passion for gratitude creates a message that any life, however difficult, can be lived to the fullest by utilizing several simple steps every day. With over 250 gratitude videos posted on YouTube, check them out. Over 30,000 viewers have seen his message. Please welcome David George Brooke.
Thank you, Michael. Robin is timing me. I'm going to do 5 minutes on what I typically talk about, and then I want to talk about Toastmasters for 2 minutes. I'm a gigantic believer in Toastmasters. So let me start out with September 29th, 1998. It was a normal day. It was a Tuesday. I woke up, I looked over in bed, and my wife was gone. And just about that time when I was trying to figure out where she was, I was kind of groggy. Connor, my 4-year-old, comes in and he says, "Where's Mom?" I went, "I don't know." And so we get out of bed and we walk down the hallway, and Kyle, my 14-year-old, comes in. "Where's Mom?" "I don't know." So we look in a couple of rooms, and we go down and look downstairs, and she's down, face down in front of the washer and dryer. She's kind of curled up or hunched up. So we go racing down there, and I turn her over, and all this stuff's coming out of her mouth and nose and so forth. And so Connor starts crying, and Kyle goes running up and starts calling the police and the fire. And within a matter of 5 or 10 minutes, our house is just full of probably 15 or 20 emergency people, police, fire, medics, all that kind of thing. And they take her out into the room, and they've got wires and those paddle things doing like this kind of thing, and hoses and things going into her. And you're in this surreal state. You don't even know what's happening. You don't know if this is a nightmare, if it's even real. But I will say this, regardless of the groups I talk to, from small to large, I always know there's a percentage of people there that have gone through something like this, and time loses all measure. And so this short little fire person comes over to me and says, "Mr. Brooke, we've been working on your wife for an hour and a half, and we still don't have any heartbeat. Would you like us to continue?" And I remember at that very moment thinking, never before in my life had I had to make a life and death decision. And I said, "No, you can stop." And she was dead. And what I noticed that happened is that was September 29th, 98, but my life had been so filled with deaths. My 2 best friends in high school, the night we graduated from Queen Anne High School, 2 or 3 more of my friends in Vietnam, my sister-in-law, my doctors, my buddies, all these people, a bunch of other people that I'd known in my life had died. A third of my class at Queen Anne High School had already passed away more recently, but a lot of them passed on early. And I thought, I'm going to have to figure something out here because I'm not going to be able to deal with this. And when I think about people that have really had a lot of struggle in life, I remember 3 days after Dana died, when the shock kind of wears off. And I walk up to this deck, and I kind of just stood and I looked out at the sky, and I thought, now I see why people kill themselves. I got it. Because I don't know if I can do this. And when you're just little flesh and blood and bone and tendons and things like this, I don't think we're equipped to handle this kind of thing. So I started this search looking for something that was going to make a big difference in my life. And one day a buddy of mine says to me, "You need to get a gratitude journal." And I go, "What is that?" He says, "Just get one." And so I did what a lot of people did. I went online, I got one from Amazon, and just sat on the shelf for 2 or 3 months. And then one day I thought, what are you doing? Because I was depressed. I was having a very, very difficult time. And to compound matters, Dana had been hooked on prescription medication. So we lost everything. I lost my business. I had no money. She took all the money to buy the pills. I lost my house. And so Connor and Kyle and I had to move in with a friend. And it was completely devastating. I'd been very wealthy when I was younger and fixed up a bunch of houses up on Queen Anne and made a lot of money and lost it. So I knew that money wasn't the answer, but you can bounce back. So I got this gratitude journal, and this is the one that I did myself. And I've got a very short version of my talk today for you folks, because I just want to make sure I get across this point, what gratitude can do. Michael mentioned over 250 videos I have on YouTube. Each one of them has to do with gratitude. And people say to me, "Well, how do you think of new things?" How do I think of new things? There's a torrential amount of videos out there that talk about gratitude. I'm just going to be another one of them. It's a torrent. But what's so interesting about it is that how many things can you be grateful for? Matt said something to me earlier today about different times of the year that might affect him. So what I want to just really quickly talk about here is on this journal. Now, this is mine. This is the Brooker's Daily Gratitude Journal. What I'd like to do at the end of the meeting is I've got a journal and I've also got a book. One of the books I've done, I'd like to do a drawing. So a couple folks walk out of here with one with a journal and one with a book, because they are life-changing. And what this journal does, the way it works is, takes 7.5 minutes a day. And I started doing it and it changed my life. And this side is what you're grateful for today. And this side is what you're going to be grateful for tomorrow, your gratitude intentions. And I also added a couple of other things, just a couple of current events at the top, so you don't have to have a normal diary, if you will. The highlight of your day, and then just the daily number, 1 to 10. 10's the best day of your life, 1's one of the worst. And you can always kind of track how you're feeling, and you can kind of anchor it from the day before and notice. So it's extremely helpful. I noticed, depending on the age, under 30, I'm doing a gratitude journal app we're going to have for the iPhone, so you can just talk. I'm so grateful I got to meet Matt Koshy. All that, just types it right in there. But the thing that's interesting is that there's something about going from your brain to your heart to your hand to the paper that makes it really stick in your brain the same way it did as you took notes when you were in school. So I think that something like this is, I don't expect it to be life-changing for everybody, but it was for me. And what I noticed is I don't think I would have made it. Now those same two boys, Connor was 4, Kyle was 14. Kyle is 29 as of today, April 11th. Connor will be 19 next month. And Connor and I are going to go to Disneyland in a week just before he graduates. Now what 18, almost 19-year-old wants to go to Disneyland with his 63-year-old dad? Not many. But we're very excited about it, and he's going to go off to school in California. So it makes a huge difference. People ask me all the time, well, how does gratitude fit into the chamber, to Rotary, to Kiwanis, to Toastmasters, whatever it might be? And I come back with the same question every time. Oh, there isn't something to be grateful for wherever you are, but it'll save your life. It absolutely changed my life and actually saved my life. And every time I get to do a talk, especially if there's larger numbers, I get a lot of people coming up and they've got tears coming down and they've got something they want to relate to me about how it changed their life. So I urge you to embrace gratitude, and it'll change your life too. Thank you. Now, Miss Robin, how much time do I have?
30 seconds.
Oh, for gosh sakes.
You want to stay at the 7 minute mark?
Are we,
I just want
an evaluation period? Because we could use that.
We can skip the evaluation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay because I'm buying Sarah lunch, so I get a good evaluation. But what I wanted to talk about, I told this to Matt. My normal talk is about 30 to 40 minutes. I do a couple of 2-hour workshops. And I get involved with embracing gratitude, understanding the fact it takes as long as it takes, how you use a gratitude journal, sharing gratitude, and there's 4 or 5 major models. But what I wanted to say about Toastmasters, and I feel very strongly about this, Sarah mentioned to me, well, I'm not sure I'm really comfortable evaluating you. And I think most of us that get anywhere in life, I just had met Matt several weeks ago. I love type A people. I like people that talk as fast as I do. I talk very fast. I have to slow down all the time. But high energy people that want to make a difference. And I notice these crying people, and they come up and they hug me, and it's the best thing. The story you told about this, the story you told about that. So my goal is to always get better. So how are you going to get better? Are you going to say is? Are you going to say torrential like you're supposed to? Are you going to say ums? Or whatever it might be. It all makes you better. But I just want to make sure I get this one message across if you hear nothing else I say. The biggest thing I've noticed with people that I listen to that are speakers is I don't think they start very well. That's just me. I mean, I listened to speak. I was at a 3-day conference yesterday for the Pacific Institute. There's probably 10 speakers. And you hear this about started off with a joke, and I'm such a huge believer in the Toastmasters philosophy. But this started off with a joke and do this and do that. So I videotape all my talks so I can critique them. And I watch this all the time. I decided I've changed my start a lot. I'm going to start with the day Dana passed away. And you see the heads, and they're all talking, and the minute I say it, they just all freeze. And they're just looking, just like Robin's looking at me going, you're way over time right now, but it's fascinating. And so I encourage you, they say that, it's people would rather run through a mall naked than speak in front of a group. We've probably all heard that. So I applaud you all for being Toastmaster people and increasing your skills of speaking in public. It's a tremendous, tremendous way to increase your intellectual capacity as well. On these videos I do every day, I look in that little round lens. I don't use any notes, and they're 2 to 3 minutes, and it's made me a much better speaker. So, but remember that thing at the beginning when you're doing your talks. Trina, I liked your talk too, by the way. Great eye contact, great looking at the audience, and great content. But when you're starting it out, that's that 5 to 10 to 30 second window you have to catch somebody. And I've changed a lot just for that reason, and then there's other things. Now this is my story, so it's true, but how you tell it really makes a difference, and how you start. And the eye contact and all the other things that Toastmasters teaches, I'm a huge believer in it. So I wish you all a lot of luck. At the end, I want to have you, if you have your cards, I'll draw for a couple of books. We'll wait till the end. Thank you again.